Dear audience, my name is Jos van Vlerken, and as a project coordinator of the SPICE project on Procurement of Innovation in Transport, I'll introduce you to our white paper slides which summarize our findings. This lecture will make you familiar with the main topics and insights covered by the slides, but more importantly you will be introduced to the white paper slides as a tool you yourself can use to disseminate or present different topics within procurement of transport, technology and services. We have chosen to summarize our findings in an easy and tangible format to create an overview of core concepts, challenges and recommendations regarding procurement of innovations, which you can use for presentations in a number of different contexts with different audiences. By creating a white paper with the SPICE findings and insights in the format of a slideshow presentation, we hope that you will use the presentation for any part of it that suits your purposes for your own capacity building activities, whether they touch upon legal, technical or policy aspects of innovation. Use any part of the SPICE white paper presentation slides, but be aware that the full potential of this tool is achieved by having a thorough understanding of the insights behind, which can be found in these videos, the corresponding reading materials, and most importantly the SPICE project deliverables that can be found on the project website spice-project.eu. The white paper is divided into a number of chapters loosely corresponding to the main SPICE deliverables. The first chapter is introductory and contains the purpose and focus area of the SPICE project. More importantly, it contains key definitions of procurement of innovation, which should not be confused with R&D or prototyping, and the challenges facing procurers. The main overall challenges involve the complex interplay of technical, procedural and legal considerations on procurement in relation to internal and external factors. Procurements of innovation are faced with new challenges such as lack of standardized solutions, high risk and complexity. This requires an overview of all the available tools which the Procurement Directive gives procurers. The next chapter, called Legal Considerations, details legal challenges, procedures and recommendations on procurement. These slides contain some of the main findings in the SPICE project on legal considerations. They can be used for presentations when initiating a procurement, especially towards an audience with legal or procurement expertise. The legal considerations in this chapter touch upon the three main topics: procurement procedures, procurement approaches, and contractual approaches. Procurement procedures are ways a procuring authority gains knowledge about what to procure. The procurement approaches consist of a number of tools in the procurement process itself, such as functional requirements, market dialogue, differing award criteria, etc. Contractual approaches are obviously different approaches for the contract that follows a successful procurement. If you are interested in a more detailed presentation of these legal concepts, view the next video presentation in this series and read the corresponding materials for an in-depth look into legal aspects of procurement. The next few slides in the chapter called Common Buyer Groups and Common Procurements touch upon joint procurement and common buyer groups. These slides can be used and presented in situations where an organization is willing to procure a product or service and seeks other procuring authorities to join in. Furthermore, the slides can be reviewed and presented if a number of procurers have already been found, but the cooperation model has not yet been established fully. Basically, the slides consist of a walkthrough of different models of cooperation between two or more procurers. Common procurements are especially vital to procurements of innovation, as common procurements can create a large demand for the innovative product or service for the market to engage in creating a solution to counter a challenge. There are a number of barriers for organizing common procurements. Among other things, these challenges consist of cross-border legal differences, technical differences and policy differences between potential procurers. These barriers can limit the potential for common procurements, even though the procuring authorities share the same challenges and seek similar solutions. For more in-depth information about this, view the third video in this series and read the corresponding materials. The next chapter, called Technical Considerations, in the white paper slides is about technical considerations in procuring within three overall topics: electric vehicles, intelligent transport systems, and mobility services. These slides should be reviewed and presented in context where procurement of technical equipment within the three categories is being planned on a higher level. Additionally, they can be used in situations where requirements and system descriptions are designed and being contemplated. The target audience here is primarily technically minded colleagues as well as decision makers. The slides contain a number of issues, considerations and recommendations within the three topics: electric vehicles, intelligent transport systems and mobility services. The issues we present are, for example, data considerations, equipment and software standardization, vendor lock-in, legacy systems, SME access, open protocols, etc., and the ways to handle these questions. The next chapter in the white paper presentation, called Policy Considerations, addresses how policy drives procurement of innovation through, e.g., strategic use of sustainable urban mobility plans, open data policies, aligning policies between cities, regions, and nations, and more. These slides are relevant in presentations for a higher level audience and comprise of insights into how policy drives procurement of innovation. If you're interested in how policy agendas can drive innovation, read the course material added to this video. Finally, we have reached the concluding chapter of the SPICE white paper slides, where all the overall conclusions from the previous slides are summarized. If you are a procurement professional or planning a procurement, we recommend that you get familiar with the slides and the associated reading materials. First of all, to build upon best practices and insights from across Europe, and secondly, as a tool in your stakeholder communication, internally as well as externally. Once more, we recommend that you extract and use the relevant slides in different circumstances depending on the subjects on the agenda, your message, and the audience. Thank you for your time, and see you in lectures 2 and 3.